consolidation and a bear market.
This is the time we tell you people to sit tight and watch the markets closely. Hey Financial Hub traders, I hope everyone is well and everyone is having a safe time during this time of crisis, during Corona quarantine period, and that many jobs people are working from home, including us, and that's why you're not seeing a video here of me in the front or Ken, because we are basically working from home. But basically this is what we are going to do today. So instead of covering all that on fundamentals, which we've done a lot of fundamental coverage on our Financial Hub website, which you can go on there and check them out. Over here, we'll just jump straight into the markets. I'll do USD CAD and maybe one more other pair, and that will be it for today. Our weekly subscription, monthly subscription is up. It will be online by next week, so wait for that, as it will be covering a lot of in-depth analysis in the trades. As I covered on my USD card, I'll show you a short clip of what I covered last week on the subscription page with our students. Now market is breaching our 161.8 Fibonacci percent mark. So these are good levels to take profit for market. Whatever goes up must come down, but always remember, trade in the direction of the trend. I cannot stress that much. Always looking for these nice trends to the upside and looking for trades to take to the in the direction of the trend. So saying that the market will reach here and we have a move down, I'll be sort of taking sort of an ambitious look at the market, and I prefer to be more objective in the market instead of trying to cook my things for myself. So if this momentum continues, as we're seeing, oil right now is really dropping. Right now I was looking at it, was at the $26 mark, and the market is still dropping. So we might push this to get to 1.46 level, as you can see over here, with that being that level. So we might not really get to the level, but that region, the whole of this region, this is a major key region starting with 1.50 mark. Market might push to that level if the US oil continues falling much lower. So that's basically what I had covered last week, and I saw market will reach levels of 1.45, 1.46, and market beautifully reached that level before the end of last week. And right now, at the moment, you can see the market is still playing around that level, still trading around that level, which we're finding sort of support, resistance. And if you're really familiar with this pair usually gets to such levels and really consolidates. But what we're having right now with all these uncertainties, with the US dollar being the safe haven for most investors, we can still see this market continuing to shoot up. As we've seen in history, if you look back, such 1, 2, 3 weeks of bullish market doesn't mean the market has reached top. As Jesse Livermore says, it's never too late to start buying and it's never too late to start selling. So you're never sure of the top. The market can continue going up. As you can see over here, we can have this sort of a push all the way up, breaking all these boundaries, having short-term resistance but not in the long term. So during this time, I'm really still bullish on the US dollar. We're looking at the Euro USD. We're seeing that pair still sort of going down on a downtrend, and we're still seeing this in line with the dollar index, which we saw has surpassed the $100 mark late last week. And if we go down to that chart, and as you can see, here's my dollar index chart. As you can see, we broke the level of 100 around here. We broke up above our downward trend line that I covered also in the analysis last week with the students, and now we're currently trading at 1.015.5 level, and market is sort of finding resistance. So we're still in uncertain times. We've not yet found a cure of coronavirus. We're still waiting for the US Congress to pass the bill of the fiscal policy, if they'll pump up money into the economy, and all that is giving the market sort of uncertain levels or uncertainty of where the market is to head next. So we're still currently waiting to see what will happen to the USD card. If you go down to the daily chart, there's sort of a short-term pullback pending. As I said, it's common to see this pair having consolidation, so we can see the pair play around this level. You can see 1.46 acting as a resistance, with 1.45 acting as the perfect resistance this level. So currently we can have a short, so I'm looking also to sell this pair. Maybe not so far. The most I can anticipate this pair to have a short-term pullback to is to 1.4 level at this region. Around 1.4 level. So that's my first resistance that I'm waiting for, to see if the market will drop to this level with if we take a trade. So anticipating sort of that, with my stops above 1.5 level, with targets there, which is a risk reward of 1:3. So not so bad. If you have a big account, it's best to have stops above 1.6, because if market starts pushing up above 1.6 level, we are seeing the market continuing with its uptrend, which is a very, very favorable outcome that can happen in the market. I'm looking to observe if that will happen, but for now, if you're having a short-term pullback, I can suggest that we can have a pullback to 1.4 level before we have that push to the upside, or even maybe another further downward movement. But so far, there's much emphasis on the US dollar, as people are taking it as a safe haven. But to become profitable in the Forex market, you have to think against the consensus, know what they're thinking, and go against them. So we might be waiting for that push to the downside, as many people think this is a good sell level, but what we can see happening in the market is contrarian to what many people think, and you might find that push further up, not with a good risk reward. Maybe if you have a big account, you can weather the storm, but the market can push further up. This can also act as one of my first targets if the market continues going down to 1.4150 level. So that's what I'm watching on this one. That's what I'm waiting to see. If anything comes up, I'll update people. But we're having an in-depth analysis with our students later on tomorrow in our subscription model. So if you're ready for that, which will be launching next week, you can have you can pay for that, and we can be doing a better analysis on there. So that's basically what I have on USD card. Let's look at Aussie dollar. But before we go down to the Aussie dollar, what we can look at is, this is my 4-hour chart. As you can see, I had sort of this resistance over here at let's adjust that, 1.463 level. That's what I was having at this time. So still watching that level. As you can see, market had this sort of uptrend on the third bounce, so I weren't able to continue the upward move. Market broke down below and sort of having a short-term pullback. So that's why I'm watching. If this pair continues, there's no much momentum to the upside, so market can start dropping to the downside, maybe have that correction that I'm talking about before we have that push continuation to the upside. So that's basically what I have, and let's move to the next pair. Aussie dollar. So basically I covered this pair, a deep analysis on it on our technical articles, I think last week, and we're covering how during this month we're having a really strong down movement, which market has now been rebounding. And as you can see, we are sort of in this channel formation, so which is not yet complete. So we can see we had the first bounce, second bounce, third bounce over here on our downward trend line. And if we extrapolate the channel, the downward boundary, we can see there's still much space still lagging for market to reach, but it's not a must for market to reach that. We might be capped here, but there's still a lot of momentum for the pair, or a lot of space for the pair to go down to that level. So if we go down to the weekly chart and look at that, we can see we broke down below our support level at 0.610, which market is sort of rebounding, pushing back to that level, which can act as a really good resistance level. As you can see, it had a lot of confluences, and this market momentum last week broke it without sparing any of the bulls who are waiting to buy the market over here. So a lot of people got hurt at this level. We're watching markets. I wasn't in that trade, still watching it. As I covered in the article, I said there were 3 types of traders that were waiting for a trade over here. So the first traders were the people who are waiting for markets to break down below this level so that they can continue selling. The other type of traders were people with the forces that were waiting for market to rebound so that they can buy and push the market further up. And the third people were the people who are indecisive, hanging in between the fence to see who will win between the bears and the bulls. The bears won. Now we are having a sort of retracement. If we see, this is just basically the Monday chart. Today is Tuesday, so Monday analysis, Monday play out on the daily chart. So market is trying to push further to touch our 0.61 level. And if we go down to the daily chart, what we're seeing there is much more clearer. As you can see, market sort of got to this level down here, sort of had that spike down there. 0.60 level is acting as a good resistance level as well, but market can sort of have that spike maybe to 0.61 level. I can't say for sure that this market is going to turn and continue going back up. As I keep on saying on our analysis, we cannot predict the market and know where the market is going to change direction. I'm really up for a downward trend on this one. I'm not in the pullback trade. I'm waiting to see if the market will respect 0.60 level or 0.61 level before I take that short level. So for now, I'm still currently looking for long positions to that level, which is sort of about 100-200 pips away. And maybe after that we can sell the pair. So that's basically what I have on this pair. No much analysis on it. We're looking at other pairs right now. We're watching gold, Euro USD, GA, which is also GA is looking like sort of a good. It's sort of now consolidating at the moment. Still waiting to see what will happen in that pair. Looking for long-term trends to the downside. So we'll do an analysis on that later, but for now, this is what I have. The rest will cover on our subscription level model on our online platform, which will be launching next week to the public, so you can wait for that. Anyone will have access to that very, very soon if you pay the $35 a month. If you're able to pay upfront this week, you'll get a whole week free. So that's basically what we have, what we're looking for. Good plays, aligning good plays. Oil also still pushing to the downside. We won't be surprised if we get to those teens levels. Let's just look at that chart for 1 sec. So here's oil. We can still be waiting to see if market will drop further down. Don't be surprised if we get to teens levels, those levels of 19, 18, 17, those levels. We won't be surprised because the momentum is still very strong. But for now, $20 mark acting as a good support level, in line with our trend line, our downward in our triangle. If we take a look at that on the monthly chart, so we can see market has respected this level. And this is the type of analysis we are watching. And this is what we basically have. So very good analysis. We're waiting to see how market will react to this level. Never been a rush to get into a trade. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. So right now people are really fearful, so much opportunities are coming. As people are coming out of the markets, the smart money will be coming back into the markets. But for now, a lot of concerns with the coronavirus. No help really has come out, no vaccine, no nothing, which can take some time. So during this time of crisis, we're seeing the markets entering into a recession. We can see the US dollar continuing to rise as stocks continue to tumble, and that's basically what we analyze and how we look at the markets here. So we're trying to look at the whole big picture, and after that come down to look at what trades we can get into in the markets. So that's basically what I have for you guys. No much ado this week. I hope you stay safe, stay quarantined, and please wash your hands. So that's it for me, and see you guys soon.
Hi.
correction and a bear market.
This is the time we tell you people to sit tight and watch the markets closely.